Hey you guys, welcome back. Today we're diving into Punisher War Journal Brother, a brutal, blood-soaked tale of vengeance, strategy, and a global manhunt that turns every low life into Frank Castle's enemy. The Punisher has always been a nightmare for criminals, but now he's the most hunted man on Earth. Let's break it all down. The assassin cult known as the Hand presented Frank with an irresistible offer: become their High Slayer in exchange for resurrecting his long-dead wife, Maria. Frank accepted, joining the ranks of the legendary Fists of the Beast. Armed with the Hand's vast resources, he now wages war against criminals, warmongers, and violent offenders across the globe. So, we open with a gathering of the world's most dangerous criminals: mercenaries, terrorists, mafia bosses, corrupt government officials, all with one goal: eliminating Frank Castle. These guys are pouring $500 million into a global bounty, tracking him through the dark web with drones, live feeds, and instant crypto payments. They're turning the entire world into Frank's enemy, making everyone a potential informant. Enter Ms. January, the architect of this twisted game, who's orchestrating the hunt like it's the ultimate death match. She lays out the rules: rewards for tips, real-time tracking, and a world of killers ready to cash in. And right off the bat, we know this is a different kind of war. One criminal argues, "I understand your concerns, but the money is not the issue. How much have we already lost due to the Punisher's relentless attacks? What we are asked to contribute is a mere drop in the ocean. We've already hired the finest assassins money can buy, and they've all failed. I don't see how throwing more money at this problem will change anything. Why would this plan work?" Miss January replies calmly, "It will work because we're not just paying for Frank Castle's death. We're funding anything that aids us in this hunt." Miss January addresses the gathering with practiced calm. "We will reward anyone, friend or foe, for rumors, tips, or photos. The better the intel, the bigger the reward. Contributions are open to everyone, and the hunt can be followed in real time on the dark web. Our platform is ready, equipped with live streaming, geotagging, and fully automated location predictions. Payments will be issued instantly through our anonymous cryptocurrency wallet, ensuring complete security. We will turn the world into our eyes and make everyone betray the Punisher." One of the criminal leaders nodded and spoke with gravitas. "If we are all in agreement, the total reward pool is just under $500 million US. The one who kills the Punisher keeps whatever remains. We are ready. All we need is your final assent." Elsewhere, an individual tracking Frank reflects on the spectacle. How they prattle on. The world's criminal elite, terrorists, mafia bosses, smugglers, mercenaries, gang leaders, and even corrupt governments have come together to solve their shared problem: Frank Castle. This unprecedented meeting puts aside grudges and feuds to focus on one man. You should be proud, Frank, but they do love the sound of their own voices. January, however, listens with patience. She's the only one among us destined to profit from this. Reports of Frank Castle's movement begin flooding in. 6 days ago, Madripoor, witnessed during the Battle of Madripoor. 4 days ago, London, unconfirmed sighting. 3 days ago, Hydra cell destroyed, suspected Punisher involvement. 34 hours ago, CCTV footage places Castle boarding a ship. 28 hours ago, Maribor, Apostle Weapons Depot annihilated. 23 hours ago, Maribor, unconfirmed sighting. The same hunter observes the unfolding chaos, his mind sharp and focused. The search begins. The world's assassins wait as every street rat scours their town. We move with the rumors. It's almost like a macro game, a bloody treasure hunt. I wonder if Frank would find this amusing, knowing how he makes us chase him through the shadows of the world. By the third day, I'm reasonably sure he's in Eastern Europe. The tips pour in, but we're hours, sometimes days behind him. He smirked faintly. Oddly, my competitor's presence reassures me. Strange allies, until the battle begins. The best of them think like I do. We don't ask where Castle is. We ask instead, Who in this region is wicked enough to summon the Punisher? Whose cruelty invites the king of killers to their doorstep? As he spoke, his eyes scanned dark web updates, tracking Castle's movements with clinical precision. His answer soon revealed itself. Somewhere in Svitskada, a boy snapped a photo of Frank Castle disembarking from a helicopter. The image, uploaded just 4 seconds earlier, earned the boy $500,000 instantly. Miss January, watching the action unfold on her screen, allowed herself a fleeting smile. The Punisher's location is confirmed. Coordinates available. 15 active assets in close proximity. 158 in the region. 378 locals notified. Happy hunting. We turn the page to an entry from the Punisher's War Journal. Frank writes, "When the Brodsky brothers inherited the family business, they made it their mission to end the decade-long feud with local law enforcement once and for all. Up to that point, it had been a costly and bloody affair. Bribes, arrests, and with a third of their crew behind bars at any given time. Bad for business. But for Freddie Brodsky, it was something worse. Humiliating. He despised the charade. Hated nodding deferentially to cops on the streets. Couldn't stomach honoring the agreements his old man had made with the lesser men to keep the peace. It was a blow to his pride. When Brodsky Sr. died, officially, of a stroke, his sons Freddie and Bror wasted no time taking control. The old man, ancient as the hills and dirt, left the operation in their hands. The night before the funeral, they made their move. By morning, as the procession marched through the streets, grieving widow, grandchildren, and all the bodies of every uncooperative officer were strung between the buildings like drying laundry. We cut to Frank Castle, walking the streets after buying food. His presence does not go unnoticed. A woman snaps a quick photo of him and uploads it. Within seconds, she is paid $250,000. The War Journal continues. Frank writes, "I'd imagine it was a harrowing sight, but I don't have to imagine. There are pictures. So many pictures. Since then, the region has been under Brodsky control. They annexed a local farm, expanded their operations, and opened a human pawn shop. It's exactly what it sounds like. Collateral is expected to earn their keep, clinging to the hope that whoever delivered them into Freddy's hands will pay him back. If the loan defaults, they vanish into Brodsky's network. Freddy is redefining blood money and human capital in one fell swoop. Everyone knows what's happening. No one does anything." Meanwhile, Frank is already making moves. We see Castle tracking down the Brodsky brothers, a pair of sadistic gangsters who've turned the city into a human pawn shop. These guys aren't just running a criminal empire, they're redefining blood money, treating people as collateral in the most twisted way possible. And Frank, he's not about to let that stand. The second he sets foot in their territory, the bounty system goes into overdrive. Civilians are snapping photos. Uploads are hitting the dark web. And before he even reaches his target, an army of killers is closing in. A woman records a video of Frank. He notices her and calls out, "Hey." She bolts, and Frank gives chase. Suddenly a boy approaches from behind, pointing a gun at him. Frank freezes. "What the? Holy hell." He turns to the boy. "You'll find nothing but trouble here, kid." The boy shouts for his mother, who appears yelling at her son to pull the trigger. A gunshot rings out. The boy panics. I didn't shoot. Frank sees a mob of armed men closing in. He tells the boy, "I know. Stay down." Frank mutters to himself, "That was quick. Self-assured bullies. They're coming too close. Too early." He takes off, the mob hot on his heels. Miss January watches the chaos unfold online. Drone feed targeting live and online. "Target in sight," she says. What follows is pure chaos. Frank, using one of his attackers as a human shield, slicing through mercenaries with his sword, and realizing that this whole system isn't just efficient, it's scary efficient. They've turned assassination into a high-stakes game, and Frank is the ultimate prize. A drone captures Frank's location, earning its operator a $500,000 reward. A mercenary destroys the drone, hoping to claim Frank's location for himself, but Frank strikes first, taking him down with his sword. Frank continues to narrate. There is a sniper nearby. Professionals, unlike Brodsky's boys. The panic is impalpable, and I'm running out of shields. Better find the shooter. Frank sneaks up on the sniper, observing her setup. Impressive, definitely not local, more incoming. He eliminates her swiftly, then notices a tablet displaying the dark web's live update on his whereabouts. As he studies the screen, he realizes someone is watching him right now. Miss January monitors the chaos from her screens. Asset 52 is down. Punisher location marked. 23 assets in range. She reports, her tone cool and calculated. Meanwhile, Frank eliminates more of Brodsky's henchmen, but the stakes escalate as helicopters converge on his location. Crap, Frank mutters, coming in fast from all directions. Looks like I'm surrounded. More professionals. Speaking into his comms, he states, I'm going in. The response is immediate. Understood, Lord Fist, replies a member of the Hand. Suddenly, a rocket streaks towards Frank, narrowly missing him as he dives clear of the explosion. Somewhere in the chaos, Frank's pursuers observes. All hell breaks loose. We are no longer allies. The Ratkers, Hoodsmen, Hydra's assassins, and a black ops group I don't even recognize, which means they're good. The best killers money can buy. Mercenaries swarm Frank's location, each vying for the kill. A sniper lines up a shot on him, but before they can fire, another mercenary takes them out, quipping, Sorry, hun, no honor among thieves. The panel reveals the mercenary to be none other than Billy Russo, aka JIGSAW. He smirks. And we kill each other to kill him. It's a war zone. Just the way you like it. What are you up to, Frank? This doesn't add up. Frank, calm amidst the chaos, notes the reinforced structure of his destination. Bulletproof walls. Brodsky spared no expense. Bless him. He enters Brodsky's warehouse and turns to his allies. Are we ready? A member of the Hand nods. Yes, Lord Fist. With ruthless efficiency, they prepare Freddy for what's to come. Stripped of most of his clothes and gagged, Freddy's hands are duct taped to a mounted .50 caliber machine gun. Frank approaches, his voice cold and deliberate. Freddy, you know this isn't justice. There isn't enough life, innocence, or joy left in you for there to ever be justice. But soon, men will burst through those doors, wearing body cams. And there's a certain poetry in having you die like your victims, tied up, helpless, and live streamed on the dark web. Frank turns to his team. Lights out, he orders. The room plunges into darkness as the Hand members send the coordinates of the warehouse to lure in the mercenaries. Moments later, the area is swarmed, the trap set for Brodsky's would-be saviors. The mercenaries storm the building, immediately met with gunfire from Freddy, who is forced to shoot first to avoid being mistaken for Frank Castle. The mercenaries quickly overpower him, ending his resistance. Meanwhile, Frank begins his assault, sneaking up on one of the attackers. He mutters, Engine, coming in fast, right on schedule. Just then, a truck crashes through the cargo door, packed with mercenaries who open fire on Frank and the members of the Hand. Frank assesses the situation. More mercenaries than expected, but no more than we can handle. The Hand springs into action, taking out enemies with lethal precision. Amid the chaos, one mercenary sneaks up behind Miss January and fatally stabs her through the chest. After disposing of their enemies, a Hand member reports to Frank. All doors are open. Frank nods. Good. Kill the ones you meet. Lead the rest to the basement. Prepare the bunker buster's bomb. 2 minutes. The Hand members respond. Yes, Lord Fist. Frank smirks. Let them come. The bomb detonates, eliminating a significant number of mercenaries. Billy Russo, watching the carnage, steps forward. You know I thought it would be enough to see you die, Frank, but I fell for the same temptation as the rest of them. It's a lot of money, and if I'm honest, I want to be the one to kill you. The one to finally beat you. Frank spots Billy and mutters to himself, "Should have seen this coming. Jigsaw's got plenty of reasons to want me dead." His face, for one. He's going to want to gloat a bit. Gives me time to take stock. Broken rib, superficial cuts, nothing to worry about. But something's wrong. Something in his eyes. Billy attacks, landing brutal blows on Frank. That's the thing about you and me, isn't it? We want it. The fight. The kill. But I'm more honest about it. I'm not ashamed, like you. Frank rallies, swinging his sword at Billy and landing a punch to his face. Billy retaliates, slicing Frank's face with a knife. Billy sneers, "But you need an excuse. You murder pieces of breathing fertilizer like Brodsky because it gives your existence some semblance of meaning. But deep down, you know the problem isn't Brodsky. Men like him exist because of the demand, and the demand will always be there. Where does it end, Frankie boy? Are you going to kill them all? What about the people watching online, making requests, paying tips? Are you going to kill the evil in the hearts of all men?" The fight intensifies. Billy hurls glass at Frank's face, but Frank grabs a bat studded with nails and strikes Billy. Frank thinks to himself, he's on something. Strength, courage, pain relief, whatever it is, it makes him unpredictable. We're running out of time. Grenades explode, creating chaos and confusion. Billy loses sight of Frank. "Where are you, Frankie? Where are you, brother?" Frank, struggling with pain, reflects. Unfamiliar pain, the scariest kind. Can't tell if my spine is broken or bruised. Either way, it's bad news. Billy taunts. "We all have great capacity for violence, Frank. Your childlike understanding of right and wrong irks me. It's not heroic. It's a failure of imagination. There's no such thing as good or bad. Good, evil, kind, bad, mean, patient, strong, cowardly. We're all made of the same pieces. The only real difference between you and me is the lies we tell ourselves." Frank acknowledges the truth in Billy's words, but counters in his mind. He's not wrong, but some crimes are too deplorable to go unpunished. Crimes committed without circumstance, consciously, with intent, where the victims are defenseless and innocent, where the damage is irreversible. We don't need to call it evil, but we can't let it go unpunished, just because the rest of the world is wicked. Billy slams Frank's head into the ground, but Frank kicks him away and drives his sword through Billy's neck. Frank whispers, "I'm sorry, Billy. It's better this way." And just like that, Jigsaw is killed. But Frank's not out of the woods yet. With mercenaries still closing in, he sets his final plan in motion. He signals the hand, the trap is sprung, and boom, the warehouse goes up in flames, wiping out the last of the hunters. Frank barely makes it out, his body shattered, but the hand gets him back to their temple for healing. And as he drifts into unconsciousness, he reflects, there is no light, no peace, no life flashing before my eyes, just darkness. Frank writes, life returns reluctantly. My broken body mends, but I'll never get used to this feeling. The magic battles the wounds, even as it heals them, and the pain echoes through my skin like phantom cuts. It doesn't truly heal me. It doesn't change me. Not really. So I tell myself another lie, and I sleep. Later we see Frank leaving the healing chamber and walking to his quarters, where his wife Maria waits for him. She looks at him with concern. Are you sure you're okay, Frank? Frank replies softly, Yeah, Maria, I'm fine. And that's where this issue concludes. And there you have it, Frank Castle's descent into darkness as the High Slayer for the Hand. This issue thrusts us into a world where loyalty, morality, and vengeance collide, with Frank walking the fine line between savior and monster. From orchestrating brutal strategies with the Hand to a savage showdown with Jigsaw, this story reminds us why the Punisher remains one of the most complex and compelling characters in comic book history. But what do you think of Frank's new role? Is this a logical evolution for his character, or has he crossed the line he can't come back from? Do you think Jigsaw's argument about humanity's inherent flaws carries weight, or does Frank's sense of justice ultimately prevail in this story? How does this story fit into the larger narrative of the Punisher's legacy? Does it enhance its mythology or detract from it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of comics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.